Wood River House is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Croak, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your home for health.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another very cold day here in downtown Westerly, but it is beautiful, and we are broadcasting and podcasting and live streaming from 321 Media in beautiful downtown Westerly, and this is Man About Town, and we have a small village in here. We have DJ Gadget, who looks perplexed. We are on the air, right?
We are.
Oh,
Brigette's
goody.
phone is being wonky.
Okay. So we have DJ Gadget, our producer. We have Roxy, the radio dog, who's going crazy because she
real star
loves
of the
people. And we have, as I put on our agenda, the library twins, because it is the first of the month. And that's Brigitte Hopkins, the executive director, Bill Lancellotta, the executive director. And they brought this person with them. She followed them home and then she said, "Can we keep her?" We have Susan Rosen. And your title, Susan, again is?
A resource advocate.
Resource advocate. Okay, you got to talk right into that mic. And I know what it is, and our frequent flyers who listen to us know what it is, but we're going to let Brigitte introduce you properly, and then it's yours, because what you do is such a great thing.
I think you already introduced Susan.
No, when I said introduce, I mean explain what a resource advocate is.
Susan could tell you.
You see her picture when you walk
So
in.
right
That's
before
true.
COVID,
Susan, what am I doing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Had approached me because she read about another library having social workers, and offered to volunteer her time and talent to help the people in the community.
Are you an active social worker, retired social worker?
I am retired. I was never a licensed social worker, but my degree was actually counseling.
Oh,
But it was when I retired from social services at Johnny Cake that after about a year, I really started missing what I was doing, and just happened to see a special on TV about,
what you
as
were
Brigitte
doing
said.
is God's work. It
Oh.
really is.
Thank you. I mean, I loved it.
You help people so much. For those people that are watching us and listening to us who are not in the area and don't know what the Johnny Cake Center is, it's multi. It helps the community. It helps with everything from heating assistance to clothing to food, housing. What am I missing? Counseling,
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah. So it was time for me to retire, and my husband wanted to travel, so off we went. And like
I
said,
thought it was time for you to retire when he was going off on his own, right?
well, there was that threat, but so we saw this special on TV where the libraries across the country, whereas most people know libraries are not just for taking out books these days, they're actually like community centers, and there isn't anything they don't do really.
Well, there isn't anything that this library doesn't do, that's for sure.
It is for
I'm
sure.
so proud of it. I love this library.
And Brigitte was thrilled when I came to her because I did see this special about libraries across the country. Look, they're warming centers, they're cooling centers. There are people have no place to go during the day. Even when I go into the library, if you look to the left, there are always people sitting there reading the newspaper, looking like they're in their living room, just enjoying being in the library. So I said, well, why don't I talk to Brigitte about doing something like that as a volunteer, which still gives me the freedom as a retired person, but I could still keep my hands in the fire. So I try and keep abreast of everything that's going on social service wise in the town of Westerly. We do not have a social service department here. I'm talking a lot. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So
We're going to give you the whole hour.
I know.
We're going to go have a beer
that's
downstairs.
right. Tell me when to stop. I
No,
could talk
keep
for, I
going.
could talk
She's
for
bored
hours.
with us. So.
So people in town needed a place to go where they could ask, where do I go to find this out? Like, and it's not just people who need a food pantry or clothing, or it's like you and me. Like,
Right.
suppose I want to find out about Medicare or transportation, or I have an older mom, what do I do with her? Like, where can I find respite for her? Anything like that.
Mhm.
People come to me with all kinds of questions. They just don't know where to find the answers. So if I don't know the answer, I'll find it out. I'll look it up. I'll research. There's a lot of things. First of all, there's a lot of things in this community that are available, but also statewide. There's a lot of agencies, departments throughout the state of Rhode Island that people can find. I had somebody whose son had autism. She didn't know where to get help for that. I mean, it's just amazing how many questions people have. So I'm at the library on Tuesday afternoon from 1 to 3 in the Roberts room. People can just stop in.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there because you said it kind of fast, and I think people should.
Okay.
It's on Tuesday,
Tuesdays afternoons from 1 to 3.
and
in
the
the
Roberts
Roberts
room is
Second floor.
second floor.
Across from the history
Yes. You can
department.
see it when you get off the elevators or come up the.
Oh,
the
that's
stairs.
like right where the seed library is,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
So people can just stop in. If they don't want to come in, the library has graciously given me an email, advocate@westerlylibrary.org. So if they want to set up an appointment, they can. I have been known to come in if somebody could not come on a Tuesday afternoon. So
That means you're very dedicated.
I love what I do. So,
You're dedicated.
and so we did spread a little bit. One more thing, and then I'll let them take over.
No,
No
that's all right.
worries.
She's getting her own show. Why not? We can get Gadget to do your
This
tech
like
work.
never happens, so I'm pretty excited.
Okay,
Usually they're just bantering back and forth about what's going on, but this is like exciting.
good.
And I
We're not
like you. I've
excited.
talked about you a lot.
Thank you.
You're all right.
I am a talker. I'm a talker, I admit.
That's great.
We now have a mental health therapist on Thursday mornings. Funny thing how that happened. I was at a presentation at the library, and this woman came up to me and asked me if I was me, and said that she was a retired therapist that had moved here from another city, and that she would love to do what I'm doing. And so I went to Brigitte, and it evolved into the fact that she's there Thursdays from 10 to 12.
Oh, that's
And
great.
if people they just need to talk to someone, or I know what Toby has said to me is, people come to me when they have a loss of something. It could be a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, a loss of anything. And it's good for them to be able to talk to somebody for a little while. And so Toby's there again, if they want, she uses my library email if somebody wanted to make an appointment, but it's a drop in. Somebody gets the urge and thinks they want to talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Toby's there on Thursday morning. So now we have two.
Yeah.
Two.
That is-
Yeah, and
times.
we have, so both Susan and Toby are like librarians. If you ask us a question, that's what we're here for. If we don't know the answer, we find it. But both Susan and Toby have an expertise that our librarians do not. And so it
Right.
just makes complete sense to have them at our library.
So you added them to your crazy bunch. Right? No, you have a wonderful staff. And that's what's so great is that everybody is kind of a specialist at something different.
Yeah.
So you
Everyone
really have
brings
a very
something
talented
Unique and
staff.
special to the table.
You're very lucky too.
Yes.
And you must be okay as a boss because they stay.
Yeah,
By and
some of them
large,
do.
they stay. All right. So I have a question for Susan as you were talking. Without getting, well, obviously you can't give specifics and that's fine. But what do you get questions about the most? Or does it vary by
most.
time of year? I mean, right now, is it where do I get heating assistance? whereas in the summer it might be something else?
You know what? It's not actually specific to the weather. I have seen a rash. This is interesting. Middle-aged women who are about to become homeless.
Oh,
So
that's deadly.
yeah,
That is.
it is deadly. So these are people who had jobs that maybe paid minimum wage. They don't get a lot of money for Social Security. They might have an illness, which taxes them over what their insurance will pay for. They have these extravagant medical bills. They lose their homes. If they're renting, they can't pay their rent. They get evicted. I mean, it's like, it's a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cycle.
It just kind of cycles into
Yeah.
the other.
It's like that old 90s commercial. I don't have a job because I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school because I don't have any money, and I don't have any money because I didn't have a job.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
So
that's
more people,
frightening.
more women, like I'd say in their 60s,
Mhm.
that are coming in that are either homeless or about to be homeless.
And what can you do? I mean, this is a community like so many others that is just starved for
Right.
housing. We have no place to put people.
No.
And what can you possibly tell them? What hope can you give them?
Well, don't get me started on affordable housing. I'll go off on a tangent because we don't have enough affordable
No, we
housing.
don't. But that's
So-
a real national problem right
yeah,
now.
it is. And sometimes I might suggest some kind of a part-time job to help. I also have a little bit of an in with somebody at Legal Aid Services who will actually sometimes go to court for someone who's getting evicted for reasons like this, and that they will help these people at least to stave off the eviction. So, I mean, the more I do this, the more I meet people that can actually help me doing
Which is
what
great.
I'm doing.
You develop
yeah.
a network.
Yeah,
Well, it's like what Bill and Brigitte have in the library. They've got a network.
that's
So
right.
they can find answers.
That's right.
You are great. You've been with them then 5 years?
It was right before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Then
That's 5 years. I
during
can't believe
COVID, I was just email, and
Mhm.
then I came back in. I used to be on the first floor, but then I got moved to a more private.
That's because you
spot.
talk too much.
I
You
do.
moved to upstairs, right?
Put her
Disturbing
somewhere
all
where
the-
no one could hear her.
Disturbing all the people reading
Right,
the
right.
newspaper. You are always welcome here.
Thank you.
I would say bring her more often because it's important to keep saying this over and over. Well, this is the first time I was too busy this month, and I think it's the first time since you've been coming on the air that I didn't get to read my email from Kelly Butler ahead of time.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know all those things that are happening. All I know is it's Wednesday,
Mhm.
and it's the Wednesday means that there's something new in the Hoxie Gallery.
Mhm.
And you're holding up the Chronicle, which is that great new newspaper
Yes.
or brochure.
Isn't it pretty?
What do you actually call it?
We call it
Magazine.
a newsletter or magazine.
Newsletter. Okay, so have
The
at
thing
it.
from Westerly Library in Wilcox Park.
And if you run out of words, I'm going to Susan.
All right.
Did you want to
Cool.
mention
Well-
the Hoxie Gallery?
Oh, I can jump over the Hoxie Gallery.
Yeah.
Is that?
Sorry,
Oh,
we have our cheat sheets, but
yeah, hanging in the
Different
Hoxie Gallery.
Yeah.
I was just actually at a networking thing
Mhm.
like an hour and a half away, and there was this photographer who was like, I don't know how to get my art out there. I'm like, oh my god. So one, there's the Hygienic in New London. Two, in Westerly, which is pretty much down the street from New London, there's the Hoxie Gallery, which is right by the train station, so you get
Mhm.
all that foot traffic. And he was like, oh, you know a lot. I'm like, thank you.
And he didn't know that, and he's
We were an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So it was
but they have computers and internets and
Yeah.
all those things.
I
I'm
just
sure
think
there
word
are
of
things
mouth is-
closer to him too.
word of mouth is way better. It was actually with a thing with Visit Connecticut site.
Mhm.
And the head of tourism. Her name is Rachel. She's amazing. And so yeah, hopefully we can get some word out
Good.
about Westerly Library and all they do.
Okay, what's hanging at the Hoxie?
Well, we have local artist Ellen Gregory, and she has it's the opening is tonight from 5 to 7, Wednesday, February 5th, for an opportunity to enjoy light bites and to meet the artist. Her pieces can be viewed in our gallery throughout the month of February during library hours. So about Ellen Gregory, let's see, years of painting as a hobby morphed into a more polished style. Although not an art student, I used my free electives in high school and college to take courses in painting, drawing, and 3D design. Over the years, I've taken additional courses at the Wadsworth Athenaeum in Hartford, Connecticut, and the Lyme Art Association, Lyme, Connecticut. I'm constantly polishing my skills. Currently, I'm working in oil. Most of my inspiration comes from the way colors look next to each other. My paintings are eclectic, but may eventually evolve into one style. Who knows? Right now, vibrant, rich colors make me happy, and I love to share that with people. Cool.
Well, Brigette's holding up some of her work.
yeah,
Now,
that
if you
looks-
hold it up to
That's
the
great.
camera,
Oh, that's right. We are video.
I don't know. Does that show up well?
No.
Oh,
But I have one.
there we
There
go.
you go.
All right. So
Yeah, I
continue.
can see from here
Very
how
colorful.
much color
Mhm.
that. Well, I
love that.
know
And I
very
recognize some
little-
locations around town.
I know very little about oil painting, but I know that it's like one layer on top of another on top of another, and you can get a lot of color that way. Well, that's great, and that's tonight at 5:00,
Yeah.
right
Meet
across the
artist.
street.
Yes. Yes. And speaking of artists, we have our David Solomon is actually starting his residency I think he's
In the park.
coming in tomorrow, and he'll be providing musical theater audition workshops on both the 20th and 27th in the auditorium, as well as a film screening and Q&A for let's see,
Mr. Holmes.
for Mr. Holmes. David Solomon worked as the assistant to Oscar-winning screenwriter and director Bill Congdon on the films Mr. Holmes and Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast. And there'll be the film screening and Q&A for.
Are the schools
Mr. Holmes.
aware of this as far as, the workshops that he's going to be doing, the auditioning for musical
I
theater?
don't know.
And what about the Granite? Have you made them aware of it?
I'm pretty sure they're all on our mailing list.
Okay. Very good.
Do you have to sing at this workshop?
I don't think so. Well,
Probably.
I would not want to subject anyone to
participants will get one-on-one time and training working on a musical theater song of their
that.
choosing.
Oh boy.
One-on-one. So
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, so that's super exciting.
very good.
Hmm.
Okay, what else?
Yeah. What else you got, Bill?
Oh, we got so much. Well, the magazine starts out by talking about adult programs, right?
Yes.
Which we used to always overlook because we
That's
get
right. You
so
always
wrapped
go
up
to the
in
kids
children's
stuff first,
Um,
and then DJ Gadget whines.
but one thing you can check out is the mysterious everlasting pumpkin up in the second floor reference desk. This gorgeous pumpkin won our pumpkin decorating contest held last year on October 26th during our annual pumpkin stroll. So it has
Still
not begun to
there?
decay. And
Are you
no
sure?
one can figure out exactly why, but
It's not
We-
all soft and yucky.
No.
we think it may be occupied in our closing hours. People have reported seeing early morning library staff that begin their day when the library is closed report seeing a faint yellow light emanating from the cottage windows
So
as
whose,
the night darkness fades away.
whose job is it to poke it every day just to make sure?
The staff do.
The staff
Do
do.
they
yeah.
poke it?
Yeah.
They've been
Is it a
checking
real-
underneath to see if it's started to become
Is it a real
soft and-
pumpkin?
Yes.
It's a real pumpkin. We can't figure out. It's magic.
I want to go see that. That should be featured on Weird-sterly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is right now.
I just
but-
checked it out yesterday, and it's.
You didn't by
in
any
perfect
chance have a
condition.
headless horseman going through the
I
park?
don't know.
Did you?
That is
Wow.
odd.
This is exciting.
Yes.
And this is open to the public. Come on in and see
it's
the
sitting
pumpkin.
right there on
Yeah.
the desk.
And it's on the second floor, you
Mhm.
said?
hmm
That's where you work.
Yeah.
Have-
It's a magical floor. What can I say?
There are seeds, and there's a pumpkin that won't die, and there's you.
I want
Okay.
the seeds from that pumpkin.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next.
Well, the Irish Coastal Club presents celebrating Irish women on St. Brigid's Day.
Yay.
That was the first.
I always do that.
That was the first.
I have to cross those out.
Yes.
On Saturday, we're celebrating
good.
Lunar
It-
New Year,
but
which
it
is the
wasn't-
year of the snake.
Yes.
So on Saturday from 1 to 2, there's going to be crafts and a live art demonstration by illustrator Regina Link and a lesson in hand folding dumplings from Therese King, founder and chef of Morsel Dumplings based in Westerly. And then immediately following at 2 p.m. in the auditorium, there's going to be a lion dance performance from the Rhode Island Kung Fu and Lion Dance Club.
Oh, I wonder if those are the same people that have come down during those Sunday fun days.
Oh, I don't
Because I know
Oh,
Coy.
yeah, they did
Coy
the
always
in the
has a
street.
lion dance
Yep.
group that comes and does some. How many lion dance groups can you have in Rhode Island? It's probably the same people.
Challenge accepted. We will find out.
That's right. Your librarians find out. Okay.
We also have the altered book craft. This did sound fun. Have a ball making an art out of an upcycled older book. Join an instructor from the Florence Griswold Museum to learn how to turn an unwanted book into a 3D piece of keepsake art.
Ooh.
Space is limited, so please see our website calendar of events to register.
Would this be decoupage, maybe?
No, I think it's page folding. That's what
Oh.
I'm thinking.
Paper
Origami.
mache.
Have you seen that?
I've
The
seen it
page
online.
folding
Yeah.
and it could read a word. I know actually Chillingham's
Yeah.
has 2 in the corner above the bar.
Huh.
I know.
You've been frequenting bars of late?
No.
Mhm.
Just Chillingham's. They have a very good steak.
Now we know.
Okay.
Right. Let's see. Well, the third week of the month is going to be Hygge Week at the library.
Yeah.
Hygge is it Danish or
We
It's,
just like the way you say it
it's
every
Danish
year when
and
you come.
Scandinavian, I
and
believe.
Scandinavia? Yeah, it's
Swedish.
the
It's Scandinavian
concept
of
of
sorts.
staying all warm and snuggly in the winter months with hot chocolate and reading and such.
Oh.
So we have
That is Danish, I believe.
a cookbook club Hygge Week on the 19th. Please join us on the second Wednesday of each month.
Do they do anything or do they just cuddle their cookbooks?
Well, this is going to be
Comfort food.
comfort
basically,
food,
right?
right?
Yeah.
The Ultimate Weekend Cookbook by Jamie Oliver, and copies will be
Ooh.
at the
He's a big deal.
Jamie Oliver's Comfort Food. So,
Jamie Oliver will not be there,
no.
unfortunately.
But you can pick up his book in the library, and you can make something from that and bring it to the Cookbook Club. Registration is required for the program, and please see our calendar of events to register.
The thing is, though, with the cookbook club, as I remember, there's no facility to heat anything up. You've got to
Correct.
do it at
Yeah.
home or whatever. And yet you're talking about comfort food, which is warm and cuddly. So who
Mhm.
wants cold mashed potatoes?
Well, you can bring a crock
Oh, I
pot.
like cold mashed potatoes.
Do you really?
Everything.
Bleh.
Bring a crock pot.
That's right, crock
Right?
pot.
Yeah.
So it's okay to plug in stuff.
Well, you
use
could,
the
but
elec-
I'm sure that it'll still probably stay warm in there for a little bit.
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find. a
But
way to
don't
make it
everyone
work.
bring a crock pot. I don't
No.
think we can.
Just
We'll have to
blow
get more-
out the
We'll have to get more
library.
power strips.
Because when you think of comfort food, it's stuff like soups and stews
Yes.
and stuff that you
Yes.
want warm.
Mhm.
yeah. I just made chicken pot pie soup.
Oh, that sounds
Chicken
good.
That's what I had
pot
for
pie
lunch.
soup?
Mm-hmm. It's
The
very
crust
yummy.
is kind of soggy, though.
No,
isn't
and
it?
then I just did refrigerated pie crust and I
Right.
baked it with shredded cheese on top, cheddar cheese. And then you break it up and then you plop it on the top of the soup.
Oh,
Ah,
that sounds good.
Mhm.
interesting.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
I know.
We're going to her house.
And a couple days later, after the cookbook club, there's Hygge and
Hygge.
Hygge and hot chocolate. So you can stop by at the pop-up at Koi for a free hot chocolate or tea. And you can also pick up coloring pages, crossword puzzles, or other quick activities to cuddle up with while you enjoy your treat.
And when is this? What
This
date?
is on the 21st.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm just trying to think. It is this week of school vacation, I believe, in
Yes.
Westerly.
yeah,
so-
because that starts on
yeah.
the 17th.
What a
so-
great week to get cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll probably be the one week, the temps go up to 55 or
Right,
something.
right.
And also for Hygge Week, the next day, the 22nd, we have drop-in tile decorating in the makerspace. Stop by our first floor makerspace between 10 and 12 to decorate your own ceramic tile. Paints and markers will be available, and staff will be on hand to guide you. This is a fun and informal program for kids and adults.
So those people in the makerspace, they have to know a lot about a lot of
Mhm.
things.
Yes.
Not a little, but a lot.
Yep.
Yes.
They have to know how to build a lot of stuff and how to
Yes.
work with a lot of things.
Mhm.
Yes.
Wow.
And a lot of it's learning as you go. I think, no one can know everything. So, but they love it.
We are just about ready for a break. So we're going to take a short break, listen to some of our local folks and how they support 321 Media and Man About Town. And then we will be back with Brigitte and Bill and Susan from the library.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Speaking of conflicts, welcome back to Man About Town from 321 Media in beautiful downtown sunny Westerly with a blue sky. Hard to believe that tomorrow is Armageddon, according to the weather people.
Snowmageddon.
But right now, it's absolutely beautiful, just a wee bit cold. And we are here with Brigitte and Bill and Susan from the library and Wilcox Park. And where are we going now? Kids room?
No, I don't want to miss
Or mini golf?
another event that Dante Society is doing. Jazz
Yes.
musician Arthur Magliazzi.
Magliazzi.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, Westerly.
Yeah. He'll bring the boogie woogie and blues piano tradition back to life through truly unbelievable piano playing and engaging storytelling.
On the
Dr.
And
Boogie
that's-
Woogie.
He's
yes,
really good.
on the
He's
22nd.
really
And
good.
that is, yes, on the 22nd from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the auditorium.
He's
Wait a
very
minute.
good.
Wait. 5:30 to 7?
Yes.
Do you know that it was advertised at 1 o'clock? It really was.
Oh, Amanda.
Wait a minute.
Help me
That
out.
time,
That's not right.
that's a Saturday. We aren't
That's a
open at
Saturday.
5:30.
I think you're right.
This is an all
Ah.
points bulletin searching for Amanda to text.
It
Brigitte,
has to
please.
be 1:00 because I already made
Yes.
a reservation.
Is it 1 to 3? 1 to. All right. She'll get back to me, but
Yeah.
check our calendar.
I'm pretty sure, but yes, Amanda, get back quickly.
All right. And well, we've talked about caddy stacks, right? Which your
Yes.
tickets are now on sale.
Tickets
Well,
are now
to,
You
on
talked
sale.
about it a month ago. I
Yeah.
think you should talk about it again.
Well,
Not
yeah.
everybody listens to
Yeah.
every show for the whole
Yeah.
time.
And
Every
it's
month.
so much fun. We should talk
Yeah.
about it twice.
Yes.
Right.
All day Saturday.
Yeah.
March 8th. The
Okay.
library will be closed so that you can come play mini golf in the
Mhm.
library.
and blow out the windows.
Keep Ben away from them.
So yes, we have families will come in, and that'll be from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And then we have 3 tea times, I believe, for adults: 3 o'clock, 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. So 18 holes of mini golf, hors d'oeuvres, beer, and wine.
Mm.
So
And
Should
each
be a great
hole
time for
is literally themed.
Yes.
That's fun. You can actually
It's a-
learn
there'll be
something.
riddles, right?
What?
Aren't there going to be riddles?
They're riddles.
Okay.
Oh, they're riddles.
Yes.
So then you get bragging rights for.
Yes. And next on the flip side of your scorecard is an answer sheet. So you can turn that in to win a prize.
Oh,
Ooh, very good.
I'm going.
And thank you, Amanda. That the Dante Society program is on Saturday
Right. the
from 1 to
27th.
3 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay.
catching that. No registrations needed.
Okay. Very good.
Amanda
Yeah.
rocks.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yes. So Caddy
Should bring
Stacks.
Amanda here, so then you don't have to keep going back and forth.
Caddy Stacks is a fundraiser for Westerly Library in Wilcox Park. And if you didn't already know it, we are a nonprofit where we receive a portion of our funding from the towns of Westerly and Stonington. That totals about 18 to 19% of our operating budget. And another portion comes from fundraisers and annual fund and fundraisers such as Caddy Stacks.
One question
So-
before we move on
Yes.
about that. I know the answer, I think, but a lot of people may be wondering who don't know the answer. Do you have to have a team to play
No.
golf? Can you just come in all by yourself?
So you can register all by yourself. You will get teamed up with others to create a team of 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very good.
All right. We have exciting park news. We're announcing that we have been awarded ArbNet Arboretum accreditation. So ArbNet accreditation is important to our Arboretum at Westerly Library in Wilcox Park because it solidifies the essence of what our historic park represents. So
Congratulations
Yes.
to Alan Peck and
yeah,
his staff.
absolutely.
So we're an officially recognized arboretum.
Mhm.
Level 2 accreditation is based on the number of trees, I believe.
Mhm.
And I believe we're the only town to the west of on the West Bay.
Wow.
And we are home to 8 Rhode Island champion trees. That means we have the best example of that particular type of tree out of any other one in the state. So,
I
Yay,
think
you.
I think
Yeah.
it's still the most on a single property
mhm.
in the state of Rhode Island.
Nice.
All right.
I've done that tree tour,
Yes.
which is
That'll
fascinating.
come back in
Yeah.
the spring.
Yeah.
Good.
They
Leave it
repeat
to
that.
Westerly Library.
They do that about once a month, don't they? In the
Yes.
summer.
You or I master gardeners do those tours.
Is it time to move on to the kids so I can listen to DJ
I-
Gadget whine?
I guess so. So actually, before we move on to kids, let's just mention that not only do the kids have their own library of things, but we had Library of Things demo day. And if you don't know what library things is they're non-traditional library items that you can borrow. So strollers. They have an electronic globe. They have lots of kids things. They have
They have soccer
a
balls, and
putt
sporting
machine.
goods.
They have
They have a cat keyboard, I believe.
Wait a minute, a cat keyboard.
yes, it's a
Yes.
keyboard that meows.
Cat. I'm a kitty cat, and I meow meow meow, and I meow meow meow.
But it'll do it in tunes, so you can play a song now.
Is this for kids?
For kids. That is. Yes.
I think she's borrowed it.
There's a light meter. There's radar, water testing kits, radon detection,
Yep.
bocce.
Yep.
Wow.
There's a hand truck that you
Show
can
me
borrow.
a kid who knows how to play bocce. I want to see them. I
West-
want their autograph.
Westerly kids. This is
Yeah?
an Italian community.
That's
May I
right.
remind you?
Well, I challenge you.
They're
I
born
think we might
playing.
even have cornhole.
That one.
We might.
Mhm.
All right. So we have tons of programs. Kids Take a Make, Pop-Up Valentine's Day. Oh, that was the third. I did it again.
Have you thought about maybe
Highlighting things
Wait, no.
before you
that we've
come-
already done.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow. Very good. Epic cat
We
fail.
have fun here.
But we have plenty of Dungeons and Dragons, our tween Dungeons and Dragons for ages 8 through 12, weekly on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on which group. We have 4 different groups. So we have the homeschool group, we have the two Tuesday groups and a Wednesday group. All right.
And then there's also Teen D&D.
Mhm.
teen D&D?
Teen
Yes,
D&D.
that's on Tuesdays.
But you don't have anything for adults. With
No,
Dungeons and
we keep
Dragons.
saying we need a
A
dungeon, master.
Yeah, we're still trying to find a dungeon master.
We all look to the end of the table.
I am not qualified to be a dungeon master.
Mhm.
Do you have to get a degree?
Well, you have to know what the hell you're doing.
Oh,
And I never do. So
yeah, but you carry it off so well.
I know. It's a talent.
Mhm.
There's tons of other things. After school story times.
Sewing
yeah,
basics.
sewing basics.
Wow.
So easy.
You go over the sewing equipment in our makerspace. That'll be on the 18th,
Yeah.
as well as beginner project ideas.
I think it's a great skill.
yeah.
Sewing.
Sewing.
Yeah.
It's definitely a skill you need.
When I was a kid, we had to take sewing in school.
Right. Sewing and cooking.
Yeah.
And if you're not into sewing, like that probably wouldn't be my thing, but Play-Doh playtime, that would be my thing.
Play-Doh playtime.
Yeah.
The blue tastes the best.
It's starting at 4 today,
Ooh.
4 o'clock in the kids' room.
And
Get
there's
there right now for Play-Doh playtime.
craft times and crafternoons on the 6th and the 13th and 20th and 27th for
Mhm.
kids and teens. Separate spaces. Then there's a readers welcome tween book club. So whether it's graphic novels, fantasy, historical fiction, or realistic novels, you can come on in and talk about whatever you're reading.
Mhm. And of course, we have our big Lunar New Year celebration. Year of the Snake is 2025.
We did that already.
Yeah, but there's more details here.
More about the lion dance.
Did you hear about folding dumplings?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we
never
heard,
mind.
heard about the dumpling lady who was
Oh,
coming.
yes. Okay.
A
Just want to make sure that was.
Show a lesson in hand folding dumplings.
Oh, I just bought wonton wrappers at McQuaid's this
All
week.
right.
Mhm.
Smash them
There
together.
you go.
I just want to help by taste testing.
Yeah.
Did you do it right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And laser cutting basics with the glow forge in the makerspace for kids. So you can learn how to use that.
They let kids get near that.
Well,
Really?
yes, you put a lid on it. There's
Oh,
no
you're not cutting the kids.
no.
No, I thought you could
No.
engrave your own.
That would
like,
be inappropriate.
property of mom.
Yeah.
No. They have to be accompanied by an adult, but you can learn about all the things that the glow forge can do because it does laser cutting and engraving, and kids can make gifts
Aw.
using it. You know, get a tile and you can have it engraved and give it to a grandparent.
And this is such a good time
right?
to remind people that there's no charge for this.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're making a gift for somebody, there's no charge.
Yep. You can bring in your own material. Just make, if you want to check with the staff ahead of time, just to make sure that the machine can accommodate that material. But I always like to use Bill, not you personally, but
You engraved Bill?
but
A
Bill,
lightning
and his
bolt.
wife picked up a cutting board and had it for a wedding gift and had it engraved with the
Oh, what a
couple's
great
name.
idea.
And
Yeah.
who actually did it? Did she come in and learn how to do it? Did they do it for her? Who did the engraving? You did?
I came in and worked with our tech coordinator at the time, and basically she
Wow.
took care of it for me, showed me how to do it.
What-
Yeah.
So
What a great idea
Yeah.
that is. What a nice wedding present
Yeah.
that makes.
Yeah.
See, lots of
All
good
right.
ideas.
And our natural arts program on the 10th is making flower petal valentines in
Aw.
the kids' room. Yep.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Just go back to what
Yeah.
you were doing.
And then another thing that we have been not doing, actually, we need to start putting note to Kelly and Amanda, start putting kids book recommendations
Yeah, that's true.
in here and teen.
Mhm.
That's a really good idea.
I like Good
Yeah.
Night Moon. Means they're going to sleep.
Ah. And they
I
can talk about them at Tween Librarian Club,
Yeah, right?
right? On the 21st.
They have a tween librarian club.
Yeah. Because so many tweens want to become librarians. So
They do?
It's a big trend. Well, they should.
They should.
Join fellow library fans to create interactive displays, create art for the tween space, and discuss all things books.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
So if you like the tween space or the teen space, please talk to the librarians there because they want you to feel like that space is yours.
Mhm.
And that's what this is about.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. But we do have TV series and movies that staff have recommended in our newsletter.
Mhm.
Oh, we also have literacy.
Who writes the newsletter? Is it one person or is it a collaborative?
It's collaborative.
Yeah.
So different people from different
Mhm.
departments with different talents
Mhm.
Yep.
write
Say
about
what's
what they
going
know.
on.
Yep. We also have Literacy Volunteers of Washington County have an immigration lawyer Q&A on the 19th
Ooh,
from
that's-
6 to 7:30.
That's probably really important right now.
Yeah.
We had literacy volunteers, the head of it here 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you did, Tori?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is really important now.
Mhm.
As is, I just became familiar over the weekend with the Refugee Center, which is based in Providence. But when I went to Trinity Rep to see the play, someone will remember us about the Iraq War and the people from Rhode Island that were part of that.
Mhm.
They had that as one of their partners. They have Stand Down Rhode Island and they have the Refugee Center, which I had never heard of.
No, neither.
And they do essentially what Johnny Cake is doing in many other places. They're asking people for cans of food, for clothing, for job introductions,
Yeah.
for everything.
All right. That's new, right?
No, the
Ca-
caregiver support group. So there's lots of
I didn't know that.
groups and meetings,
Mhm.
groups that meet at the library, including the caregiver support group, which is on the 12th. I believe they meet monthly.
Yep.
That is a really important group
Is
because
And that's
people,
Alzheimer's Association Rhode Island chapter.
Is that
I was gonna
new?
say people
Mhm.
who are taking care of people with
Oh, yeah.
dementia, they go through so much, and they also need a break. They need a
Mhm.
time to
Yeah.
Yeah.
talk
I've had
to
people
like
come to
people.
me actually with questions
Mhm.
about that.
So it helps in a multitude of areas.
Yes. So there's a lot more going on at the library and not so much in the park right now than we're talking about here. So you have to visit our website,
There's still plenty. I mean,
westerlylibrary.org, or stop into the library and see for yourself.
and what Susan said when she first started, that libraries around the country are no longer just about books. They are community centers.
They are.
And this is a great one.
They are.
It really is.
And I think of our reading room where everyone's, sitting around like they're at home as the library's living room.
Yeah. It's really cool to walk in and see people.
Now, do you
sitting there.
consider the reading room the one to the left as
Yes.
you come in, where the newspapers are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
It's our old main reading room.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes.
And lots of things in public services, even a device charger. So if you notice your phone is running low and won't last while you're at the library, we have charging lockers that were funded by a legislative grant, thanks to Victoria Gu, where
Thank you,
can come
Senator
in.
Gu.
Yes, and you can charge your mobile device or tablet.
Yes.
I know. I don't know.
No, I like when you do that.
That's like the
even better.
international sign for tablet, I
Tablet.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like two ducks talking to each other. Yeah.
And it will also sanitize them.
Wow.
Yeah, supposedly there's a lot of germs on those phones and tablets.
I can imagine.
We'll also mention that when our cottage is not being used as an artist in residence space, that
You
it
sleep
is
there at lunch.
I wish I should. It is available for rental. So the cottage in Wilcox Park is available for private events, for a family gathering, bridal suite or birthday party, temporary office space or workshop. So, yep. And
You really,
there's
who cleans it up after girls' night out or something?
well, we
No,
do have-
seriously. I
I
mean,
think
is
you
that,
can only
yeah.
have until 9. We have our staff.
but I'm sure that's within the price. I mean, you're
Yes.
figuring that in.
Yeah.
Now, do you still have, talking about rentals, can they still rent out the Koi Cafe, nonprofit group?
So the Koi Cafe is available for rent as a pop-up space, but pop-up space, you don't have to sell anything. If someone is looking just to get the word out about something, you can still apply to utilize it. And there is a rate for nonprofits as well as for-profit businesses or people who are looking to make, sell goods that they make at home.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
It really is. Again, that's helping the community. You've got about 10 minutes, so I'd like to see you talk again for people who have just tuned in, just found us, or in the car or at school or wherever, about the golf, about caddy stacks.
Oh yeah, Caddy Stacks. It's going to be so much fun on Saturday, March 8th. All day. The library will be closed, but you can come in and play mini golf. You can either come in the morning with kids or just families. Doesn't have to be kids. It's $5 a player or $20 for a family of 5, and that goes until 1:30. And then we have adult mini golf, so 21 and up, 3 tee times, 3, 5, and 7. Registration is required. It's $50 a person or $200 for a foursome.
And if you don't have a foursome, you'll be matched up.
Yes.
Make new friends.
Yes.
That seems
Club
nice.
somebody over the head when that shot's
Yeah.
bad.
And the all
don't
ages
do
mini
that.
golf in the morning is 9 holes, and there'll be some snacks. And then the adult is 18 holes with hors d'oeuvres and beer and wine.
Wine and beer.
pretty,
and
pretty
there's
good for $50.
also going to be some raffle gift baskets.
Very
So,
good.
You
and
guys like upped it
the-
this year.
The friends are contributing 2 gift baskets,
They
and
are.
they
We're putting
are
that
our
together.
major
Well,
sponsor.
Yep, they
of
are our
the-
title sponsor.
Yeah.
So
So
They had gift baskets before. That
Yes,
was 2
yes.
years
And
ago.
I don't know if you know, Susan is also VP of the Friends.
Aha. And that's
Wait, my other
wish
hat.
I'd known that. I had something to bring for the friends. Someone gave me a big, beautiful vegan and vegetarian cookbook.
Ooh.
And I sat there last night and went through it and said, okay, I'm done. Now what do I do with it?
Yeah.
And it's in beautiful shape. It's brand new. And I thought that would be
We would
something
love
for
it.
the next sale.
We are actually,
No,
we're going to
go
be
on.
doing a drive-through book donation, like a drop-in, because we actually need book donations right now.
Oh, I can give you a few
So
of them.
once a month, we're going to be over in the parking lot, right? Or is it the post office or the parking lot? I'm not really even
The
sure.
parking lot where you can come into the park.
Right.
And
and
yeah,
That's
you
the
just
one
have
next
to,
to the post
Yes,
office.
yes.
Pop your trunk and
so you just have to drive through, and we will be there to take the books out.
Yeah.
You don't have to get out of the car or anything. See, it's a little difficult for
Excellent.
people
This
to get out of
is
their cars.
a donation of books to stock the library with.
no.
No, this
for
is
the book
Yeah,
sale.
for the book
for the
sale.
friends
Sales.
of Westerly Library.
I want to throw out a
So-
tidbit though.
Yeah.
If you're an author, especially a self-published author, and you donate your book to something like this, it gets out there.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But we also have a local author bookshelf, so you can donate.
There's also that.
yes,
Yes.
to do that, and supporting the friends, going to their book sales and buying books. The money that they make comes back to the library. So just on Monday night, they approved giving us funds to purchase a new play kitchen for the kids' room
Oh,
and
good.
some soft furnishings.
Kids get all the good stuff.
Yes. And and I'm going to get this wrong, it's not reconditioning, it's something for the piano, because it costs almost $1,000 to tune the piano
Oh,
and do
yes.
this other thing rather than regular tuning. It's like 20 adjustments on each of the 88 keys. So the friends are funding that for us.
Wow.
It's like
great.
extreme tuning.
Yes.
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 Thank you,
And that,
friends.
Yeah.
that's over, happens over
Are
a
you
couple of
using
days.
somebody locally? Piano
He's the
tuner?
regular piano tuner.
yeah.
Good.
So everything that we make on our book sales goes towards the library's wish list, which is something that might not normally.
Which gets longer all the
Yeah.
time, but
Oh, it does.
you
It
shorten it
does.
for a while and
It
then
does.
they come
Yeah.
up with new
Well, I mean,
stuff.
the book drop out front, people probably don't realize how much a book drop is, but I think it was $11,000 or $12,000.
Are you kidding
No.
me?
No, and we
For a
don't.
book drop?
Well, they also have carts in them and they're weighted. So when you put the book drop, it doesn't have that far to fall until it starts getting filled up.
Yeah.
And then that weight, the top of the floor of that bin. Kinda
That's
drops.
awesome. So you don't
Yeah.
damage the books.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that came from the friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Pretty
The
good friend to
bike
have.
racks.
Mm-hmm.
I know
in
this
the
has
park.
nothing to do with the library, but my knee just got licked. That is from not from Bill. From
Bill,
Roxy the
behave
radio
yourself.
dog.
Wasn't me.
So the
Definitely.
friends are advocates and supporters in many ways.
So we do have a book sale coming up in the Koi in June.
Oh, good. So we don't have to wait till October.
No, then the big one will be in
Yeah.
October.
And you'll still have the summer pop-ups.
And we still have the summer pop-ups in the park.
Which is like every Thursday morning or
Yes,
something
yeah.
on the
And they're a big
Esplanade.
hit.
Yeah.
People really like
Oh,
those.
yeah.
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 Because people see them that weren't aware.
Yeah.
Right.
Because believe it or not, there are people that don't watch us or don't listen.
No.
But,
Oh, no.
but you get those out
One or
of
two, yeah.
towners that are here for the summer,
Right.
Right.
people that come for the beach.
Right.
And maybe it's too cold today or they're coming out of town into town. And there you guys are.
Westerly's a draw now for
Yeah.
tourists.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
And your visibility is fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, when you're right there.
Yeah.
You really
But
are.
I also want to reiterate, including the volunteer work that both Susan and Toby do. If you have a question about something in this community or just about anything, you can call us and we don't have to know the answer. We just have to know who to direct you to or where to find it. We don't need to know the answer. Call us. It's No question too small. Don't think a question that you have is stupid. They're all important.
And obviously, when they meet with you or when they meet with Toby, everything is anonymous.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is personal.
I don't even take people's names, actually.
No?
So
That's
they just,
smart.
Yeah.
I mean, and anything you do at the, when you come to the library, we respect your privacy and confidentiality. Everything is confidential. So
Very good.
Everyone's welcome.
We will see you again on the 5th of March. I can tell by our associate producer's growl that our 4 o'clock guest is probably on the other side of the door. But thank you again, Brigitte Hopkins,
you.
Bill Lancellotta, Susan Rosen. You are, well, they had come anyway, but you're welcome anytime. And I always love when you bring guests from the library, because I think it tells people how big your staff is, how diverse it is, and what all the services are. And now that we are live streaming and we are on YouTube and all these platforms like Westerly, people can put a face and a voice together. So it's not just names anymore. And the last thing is, if you would like the information that these 2 people gave for the last hour, it's absolutely free. Call the library, go online. You will get a monthly email. You will get the newsletter, which is really first rate. Or if you don't have any of that and you just want to walk into the library, you can get it at the front desk. So we're going to take a short break now, and then we will be back with Detective Mills from the Westerly Police Department. Be right back.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is, right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Touchdown, Westerly!
A chance for the Chargers, and they score!
In the front, Fuzzy again!
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
All right, and we are back. I just want to make an announcement before we actually start. Oh, I should also probably put us on camera. That would be a great idea. If you are looking for something to do this weekend, you can go to the Granite and see Love Letters, and there's 16 tickets left. So that's it. Act quick.
Okay. Yes, Love Letters, starring the Reverend Cal Lord, who became a grandpa yesterday morning just after midnight.
Yay.
So if you see Cal Lord around town, and you probably will because he's into everything. This was grandchild number 2, but he's very excited, and his new grandbaby's name is Teddy.
Oh, congratulations, Cal.
Okay, so here we are. Now that we've done all the front porch stuff, here we are back with A Man About Town from 321 Media in beautiful downtown Westerly with beautiful detective Howie Mills.
I've been called many things before, but I'm not sure if that's one of them, but thank you.
And I've got, you're probably going to tell me you've heard about it. I had not heard about it till about a week ago, but I heard about a new scam.
Oh.
Where you get a phone call saying that you owed money on a toll. And if you have the little
Easy Pass,
it didn't work. It didn't go off, and you owe money. And in order to not have extra taxes and extra stuff go on,
extra fees, late fees,
you need to do. Do you know about this?
I do.
Oh, you do? Then I
no, but you like I know about it, but there's probably people that are listening that don't know about it. So keep going. You're doing a great job.
Heard about it.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine told me about it, and she said they are so realistic. They'll give you numbers on the phone. They'll tell you who they are, what department they work for, and it is one big scam. That if something happens and you blow a toll, you get something in the mail. You don't get somebody calling you on the phone. And they tell you you can pay it online or you can get gift cards.
Of course, gift cards. Always goes back to those gift cards.
Yes. So I thought, hey, I got one on him. I'll tell him, but you're ahead of everybody.
Unfortunately, because of the amount of scams that are out there, people in the town of Westerly get these phone calls all the time. And sometimes they just call the police department just to let us know about them, or they were almost scammed, or sometimes they were scammed. So, you do hear about them. It's just amazing how good these scammers are.
That's what my friend said. She said they had the license plate. They had the description of our car, everything.
A lot of that stuff that they get, they're able to find it online, which is unfortunate. Right?
Wow.
So, for instance, if you take a picture and you post it on Facebook, right? And that you're standing in front of your new car that you just bought, guess what's probably showing?
Oh.
Right.
A license plate.
A license
That's
plate.
true.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're very, very good. They, I have gone to the amount of scam classes and things like that I've gone to, and the amount of people that I've talked to about scams, and people that give presentations on scams, and just like I said, talking to the people that I talk to, they tell us that there are scammers out there that will just, filter through Facebook any type of like an online
I was going to say they just troll Facebook all
well,
the
it's
time.
I don't know if it could
for
be like it could be
everything.
any social media website that you
Right.
like any like multimedia website that you post things on and you
or
post pictures.
people that go on those match things to find
Yeah, it
a
could be
guy to
right,
find
of course.
a girl.
Like I said, that's why it could be any.
Wow.
It's not just one. There's many different social media websites that people post things on. You know that you post pictures of you and some family on vacation, and when it comes down to the scam we're talking about with cars, there's so many different ways you can find out so much about a person. You can go on to any town's websites, and you can just go online and see who owns what property.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's so many different ways that you can know so much about people because
I always look at the real estate transaction
See?
pages to see who sold, who bought, where the property was, how much, to get an idea. And sometimes I know the people,
right?
And you can get that information.
And you are literally just looking at it just to see it. Scammers are looking at it to say, okay, how can I scam these people now that I know that these properties have changed hands, right? And
sure, they give you the address,
right,
the actual address.
They unfortunately, like, scammers will search through obituaries. They'll search through social media posts that somebody might post about losing their husband or their wife or their grandparent or their parent or a child. They'll scroll through those things and then look for ways to try to prey on these people because of the know that they're vulnerable.
Well, years ago, it used to be people would look at, the bad guys would look at obituaries, find out when the funeral is, and then rob the house because they know people are off at the funeral.
Yeah,
but they've gotten much more sophisticated.
Right.
Wow.
But if that's your job all day long is just to look at ways to scam people, and most of the money is stolen from people in this country and then moved out of this country.
Yeah.
So the money is
fast too, right?
Yeah. But also scammers are always looking for ways to get the money out of the country because it's not easy just to smuggle thousands of dollars out of this country or just get thousands of dollars in U.S. currency out of this country. It's not just that easy. So that's why they have you go and buy gift cards. That's the main reason, because with gift cards, they can just scratch off the back and then you just read them the numbers. And then they automatically, once you read those numbers off, and then they're writing them down. And as soon as they get that information, they're online and they're buying stuff with it. They're spending it as soon as you get it. They already have like the website up and they're just buying goods. And then they turn around and either keep the goods or they take the goods and then they just resell the goods for just a lower price. So they're still making money on it because whatever they buy for goods, they just turn around and sell it for cash or currency or however, there's different stores that they can use sometimes they'll just sell the gift card itself. Let's sell $100 or $500 gift card. They'll sell it for, instead of $500, they'll sell it for $300. So they're still making money regardless of how
people don't think that there's something unusual about buying a $500 gift card for $300. There isn't a red flag that goes
there
off.
Used to be sites that had like really good couponing and stuff like that. So people would sell like Windex and stuff. They'd have like 45 Windexes, and so they'd sell them for like $1 just to make 45 because they only spent 20 on it. And so, and then the gift cards were a big thing on that platform.
It's just like I said, that they just target people that they think that they just make so many phone calls, and just hopefully that out of the 100 phone calls that they make, they get a couple people that will fall for it. That's all they need. That's really all they need is a few people that day to fall for it, and they're gonna make a couple $1,000. And out of the 100 phone calls that you make, if you get a couple people, then it's a huge win for them. Lately a lot of the scams have been people opening up their laptop or their iPad and getting all of these pop-ups that show up while they're on their device. And then there's like a number that like ends up popping up, like it basically freezes their electronic device. And then there's a number saying, "Hey, call this number if you for
and of course they
help."
do, because they want it to stop.
Exactly, and they think they're actually getting help from somebody that's from like a help desk, And these people are very smart. They pretend they're from the help desk.
And of
tell them
course, there's that message: don't turn your computer off. Don't try to delete.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've seen lately, and if people that are listening or watching, when the scammer starts asking for things like, "Hey, I need you to send me a picture of your license, or send me a picture of your credit card front and back, or send me a picture of your bank card."
Who's going to send somebody their credit card front and back that
People,
they don't know?
Unfortunately, they think they are. They're just getting their computer fixed, and they're just paying for that, paying the help desk to have that device fixed.
Oh, I see.
So
they think they're sending it to the help desk.
Yes. So basically, when you think about it, right, the person says, "Okay, we can help you out, but you got, it's going to cost $1,000 or whatever it's going to cost.
Go buy a new computer."
I know, but they'll say, "Okay, how would you like to make this payment?" "All right, I'd like to use my whatever credit card." "Okay, that's fine. I just need a picture of the front and the back of it, and then I need your ID showing that you're the same name on it." And unfortunately, the person now sends a picture of their driver's license
on top of the other.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the person that's getting victimized thinks that they're doing the right thing.
Just paying your bills.
Right.
Well, they're also very upset at the time.
Of course, they're frustrated.
When you're upset, you're not thinking logically.
Yeah, and sometimes you think you're talking to the help desk or the fraud department or some department that's assisting you with trying to fix this. So, and sometimes with these pop-ups, they move you around to different people, and they'll say your banking information's been compromised, but here's the number to the fraud department, but I'm going to transfer you to the fraud department. Here's the number in case we get disconnected. And, so they give you a number, but the number goes to the person that's doing the scamming. And then they say, "Okay, we're going to put you on they call it a secure line." That's the big, word that they use is secure line. So, we're going to put you on a secure line with your fraud department. And then, "Miss Mann, what bank do you use?" And you're going to tell me?
ABC Bank.
Yeah, ABC Bank is my bank. "Okay, well, I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to get a hold of ABC Bank, and we're going to get you in touch with somebody on a secure line." So it's a very secure line for just you and ABC Bank.
And of course, the guy knows. He said he's been told
by you
that
it's ABC Bank. So now he's going to.
"Hi, this is Joe from ABC Bank.
Now I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to call you, and I'm going to be like, "Hey,
yeah, I'm in on it."
Yeah, you're in on it. I'm going to say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to put you in touch with her. This is all her information."
And it sounds so damn
right.
real.
And then I'm going to say, "You're going to be tenured from ABC Bank, and we're going to scam this person."
Yeah.
So then I'm going to say, "Okay, I'm going to put you on the line with DJ from ABC Bank. This is going to be a secure line. I'm going to disconnect now."
Yeah.
And then now it's your turn, and I set it all up, and now they call the closer.
Yeah.
So you're going to close on this.
Wow.
I'm on a community forum. I live in Uncasville, Montville area, and somebody just got a package sent to their house, and it had a gift in it and a thank you card with no company name, nobody who sent it, and then the return address was like some little shed with a garage attached. It wasn't a real place. Like they Google mapped it to see the thing. It is a brushing scam, and on that thank you card, which she didn't post, thank goodness, there was a QR code.
Yeah.
And to find out who sent you this package, this gift, it's obviously a gift. It's so real. But it's someone receives an unexpected gift or item not ordered in the mail from a place like Amazon or another company. Examples of gifts could be rings, bracelets, necklace, Bluetooth speakers, on and on. They open the package and see what it is and possibly who sent it. There's a QR code to scan to find out who sent the gift. And once the code is scanned, all the information from that phone will be sent to the scammers. They will receive all access to the phone, and all personal and financial information that is accessible to the scammers. And often the victims' bank accounts are drained.
Wow.
So it's all a QR code, which is really, you'll see on my gas pumps, people put stickers. I will never scan them anymore.
It's that easy, huh?
Yeah, their advice was you can keep the gift. The gift is just a gift.
Yeah,
don't scan the card for
that's some gift.
So basically, what you're saying is they're paying a little bit for the gift.
Yep. Remember the check that I had? Yes. They paid like $9 to send me that check. So I was like, why would somebody pay to scam me?
Because it's $9. Of what he said, it only takes one or two people, and they'll make thousands.
Yep. Yeah. And it was a $3,000 check. Right. So I was like, what the heck is going on?
So if you sent out $100 worth of checks, looking for one person you're getting way more than $100 on the scam.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we didn't even ask you what you have today. I mean, you came in with notes, and
it's just normal stuff. And we'll talk about it in the second half of this. We can kind of go over. We're going to be doing our Assistance Police Academy here in a few months, but we can talk about that after. I know you've been talking about some scams, but one of the scams too that's kind of come back to is because they were in the early season. We're not in the tax season yet, where you're going to be late on your taxes, but we've got a few of you've won the lottery, or you've won a certain lottery, or you won a new car, and or you've won
and all you have to do is send in so much.
Or you just got I need your personal information.
Huh.
And
wow.
Because a lot of times they have some information on you, they just don't have all of your information, like your social security number, or your date of birth. A lot of times you can get pretty much everything but that. Even when I'm working on something and I'm trying to locate somebody, there's a bunch of websites out there that you can go to. And if I know that somebody lives in Wichita, Kansas, and his name's Joe Smith, I can type in Wichita, Kansas, Joe Smith, and I can get, several of them that are close. And I can usually determine, because I kind of have an idea how old they are. A lot of times I can kind of determine, okay, this is probably the one. And, by there, then, they say, okay, they lived at this address, that's this address. And there'll be like several different addresses that they've lived at, where they previously lived, where they live now. And you can kind of put it together. Okay, I think this is the person I'm actually looking for. Because sometimes, we as police officers, you're just trying to get a hold of a family member. And, you only have a name and a possible place where they lived, or their possible age, but not a date of birth. So, we as officers sometimes have to use a bunch of different tools on the internet and do some digging ourselves. So, we do it. Why wouldn't scammers do it?
They gave up on that Social Security one, right? The one that you got a few years ago, where they had
unemployment.
Yeah, that was unemployment. Yeah, but again, these things, a lot of times they come back around and they just try to make them better. They just do. Unfortunately, they
go to scam school.
Yeah, I thought years ago that the grandchild locked up scam was going to be like a year or two thing, and then all of a sudden, it's still going on. And
because now they've got the voice recognition of the kid because of AI and all that.
Yeah, so it doesn't go away. It just they just get better at the scam itself. They're able to sometimes now they use different services to have somebody come to the residence to pick the money up. So instead of just sending it in the mail, sometimes they'll have you leave a package out on your porch, something like that, with the money in it, wrapped up in in a box and a piece of paper. And
I've also read or heard that they now have people, bad guys, who dress in Amazon delivery clothing, and they're not Amazon employees, and they look just like them.
And then what? So again,
and they're stealing stuff off the porches.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
or they're keeping packages, or they're commandeering other vehicles, saying, hey, go back to headquarters. They want me to take over or whatever. But they've got people out there that look, act, sound, and have ID for Amazon, and they're not.
Wow.
So that's really
it
seems like it's almost impossible not to get caught, unless you stay home with the covers over your heads and you don't buy anything, and you don't talk to anybody.
I had one today. I had a scam today. It was actually a text message, and it said that I needed to reach back out to an online company about something that I had purchased. So
now this came to you personally?
Yeah, it came to my cell phone. It was a text message, and I know it's a scam because the item that I purchased that I was waiting for came yesterday. So they're just hoping that by
didn't come yet.
Yeah, they're hoping that because we all buy stuff on the internet, right? We all make purchases online. So it was just saying that there was a whatever it was, a $3,000 purchase made on your account. If this isn't accurate, please call this phone number.
Uh-huh.
And I almost called it, but I was like, no, not even gonna bother. Just delete it. It was probably 7:30 this morning before like I went to work, and I was just like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I'm like anybody else. You have a family. You're trying to get ready to head to work. Your wife's getting ready for work. Your kid's going to school. So it's like I don't have time for this. To look at this, but I could easily picture somebody that's got a lot of things going on and saying, "Oh man, I can't believe this just happened to me."
Stop and do it.
Just another thing. I'll deal with it later on. And then like, then all of a sudden later on, you're like, oh man, I got to go look at that email, and you've got 1,000 things going on in your head, and you make the phone call because you're like, all right, what now? Because everybody has those days where, it's like an avalanche of things going on in your day. There's, you're running around trying to get kids here. You're a busy day at work, and you're trying to go home and make dinner, or, everybody's got things in life that's going on. And then it's just like, so you start dealing with this, and you're not thinking right. You're not thinking clearly. You're not stopping, taking a breath.
Conversely, you've got all these things going on. You see that and you think, oh, I got another thing. And you call that number right then. Or you don't say, I'll do it later.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what they're hoping, that they'll get you when your defenses are down.
You're in a vulnerable point in the day with 1,000 things going on.
Yeah.
You're not thinking clearly. And then, when you talk to people that get scammed, they're like, I should have known, I wasn't thinking. And then after I did it, I was like, oh man, I can't believe I just fell for that. Many people say like they realize it right after it happened. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just fell for that. Yeah. So people realize it, but sometimes they just realize it just
so what advice do you have for people?
Anytime that
just take your time and take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath and just, say to yourself, this just doesn't sound right. Or, do a little research before you just make that phone call. So what I would have done but I already mad because I deal with this. If I wasn't a police officer and I was just a normal
person.
Well, not that I'm you know what I mean? Like somebody that doesn't deal with scams every single day.
Sure.
I probably would have, went on my account for this online store, and I would have just looked at my purchases and been like, okay, I didn't purchase that. That wasn't in my cart. I mean, and it didn't say that I just purchased it. And I also would have looked at my bank account, because we all are able to look at our accounts on our phones. I'm sure most people do. I mean, I'm sure there's a pretty high percentage of people that have their bank account on their phone. I would have looked on my bank account because mine is directly taken out of my account. And I would have been like, yeah, that's totally like nonsensical, because it wasn't on that. It wasn't in my my online store shows I didn't purchase it. My account's not reflecting it. Clearly a scam. I'll just delete it.
Right.
But you got to take your time.
You shouldn't call him back at that point.
Yeah.
And say, I caught you. No, it wasn't. You should just, like you said, ignore it and go about your day.
Yeah. My wife, and I might have told the story a few months ago, my wife almost got caught up like in a scam where she thought that what she was doing was right. And, then after, when she told me, like, she eventually realized that, like, oh my God, like this is a scam. When she told me the story and was retelling it back to me, she's telling me this and saying, now that I tell you the story, I cannot believe that I almost fell for this.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you tell it back, right, to somebody else, and
you realize
you're hearing yourself.
Yeah, you're hearing yourself. And then I even said that, I said, do you hear what you're saying to me, right? You hear yourself that, and this is why when I've taken reports from people before, or talked to victims before, or people that were almost victimized, when they tell like their husband or wife about what's going on, usually one of the two of them is rational enough, or thinking clearly. I would use the word thinking clearly enough, saying, stop for a second, hold on, time out. Do you realize what you're telling me right now? This sounds fishy. This sounds like this is a scam. Mm-hmm. So that's why a lot of times the scammers will say to the person that they're trying to scam, hey, keep this between me and you. Do not tell anybody else. Don't tell any of your family members. Are you still married? Yes. Don't tell your husband, or don't tell your wife.
That should be a red flag right there. Don't tell anybody.
I know. Especially when they say, when you go to the bank to withdraw $10,000, don't tell them that, what this is really for. Tell them that you're buying a car for your grandchild, or tell them you're buying a car for your daughter, or tell them that you're doing home renovations. And,
Right.
you know,
And you're getting 10 grand in cash.
and you're getting $10,000 in cash.
Wow.
And then you're taking that $10,000 in cash and you're going to either a crypto machine, or you're going to one of these local big box stores or one of these stores, and you're buying a ridiculous amount of gift cards, or however they're trying to get you to push the money to them in all these different fraudulent ways.
Wow.
Yeah. It's and it's like I said, it's hard when you see somebody get scammed. You know, sometimes we're lucky enough to help them out and get them their money back. Other times that we're not, you know.
We've got about 2 minutes before we go to break. So what can you give me for a nice 2-minute filler? You got anything upcoming? Well, I know you've got the citizens thing, but that takes more than 2 minutes.
Yeah. So like real quick, we haven't had in the last few weeks, we haven't had a bunch of Bitcoin, knock on some wood, I'm not, I should not. So we haven't had a bunch of Bitcoin cases recently, which has been good. We hope that the word is getting out of there. Just be cautious when you're going to these Bitcoin machines, and, you know, just make sure that, you know, you're doing this for yourself, and this is for you, and somebody's not on the phone with you telling you to put money into these machines. You know, that's very important. And you also
Has there been any move to get these machines out of the Stop and Shops and places like that?
I can't answer, because I don't know. That's up to those companies, you know, and I think there are some states out there that don't allow it, but I don't think Rhode Island is one of them states. So it's kind of like if you own a company, right, and and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, we're from ABC Bank and would like to put a ATM machine in your store."
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So with that being said, you know, we have to kind of look out for each other, you know, and
all the time.
Yeah.
More so than ever.
Yeah. And if you have, you know, if you know that if you have a parent or parents that you check in with all the time, that are a little bit older, and, you know, and they've almost been scammed before, or there's a chance they could get scammed, you know, it's important to talk to them about, you know, these things of, you know, crypto, and, hey,
don't answer the phone if you don't recognize the name on the display.
Or just say, if anybody ever calls you saying that they need money for something, please just give me a call and like run it by me. I do that with my parents.
Yeah. Or hang up.
Yeah.
We got to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Citizens Academy and probably a whole bunch of other things.
We can go through the gamut.
Okay, so we are talking with Detective Howie Mills from the Westerly Police Department. This is 321 Media, beautiful downtown Westerly. This is Man About Town, and we'll be back very shortly.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is, right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
We are back on already, as Detective Mills just asked. Yes, we're back with Man About Town and with Detective Howie Mills, who is never at a loss for words or stuff going on, because he polices a town where everything goes on.
I gotta be honest with you, I might be at a loss of words with how quickly these breaks are and how fast we're back on.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Holy.
Are you not going to Florida anytime soon?
I would like to go in April. Well, we'd like to go in April. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I shouldn't put it on the radio
like
exactly
to go
when
it's
we're going away.
105 degrees down there.
I love being warm. I just do.
Well, there's a difference between warm and sweating your guts out.
I feel is that like when you're in Florida and it's in the summertime, there's swimming pools, there's places to hang out, and if you can always go inside and have some air conditioning if you want to.
That's
the heat
true.
doesn't really bother me. I think the cold weather probably bothers me more because, when we were just talking off air really quickly about how we're gaining a little bit of light every single day. And I think when I was saying, I think in November, December, when I came one day, it was pretty much almost dark at 4:00 when I came here to do the show. And normally, a lot of us, when we get home from work, it's 5 or 4:30, 5 o'clock, and it's dark outside, and we all go home and we have a routine. I know my routine is usually, have dinner, hoodie, and a pair of sweats, and sometimes I'll go out for a run. Sometimes I won't. I got to talk myself into it sometimes
when it's really cold and icy. Yeah,
when it's 12 degrees, I really got to talk myself into going out and going for a walk or a run. You really got to be like, how you got to go do it. It's good for you when you're down in Florida, no matter what time of the year it is.
There's
true. Always a good time for a walk. And so when we're down there, and I've been down there pretty much in, December, I've been down there in January, February, I've been down there, a bunch of different months for vacations. And I feel is that when maybe it's just because I'm on vacation, but at like 7 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock, my wife will tell you, I'm like, why they're still in bed. I'm already up, got pot of coffee going, and I'm out on a stroll.
Yeah.
Just if we're at a resort, I'm walking around the resort,
sure,
walking around, just getting some.
You're making me very jealous.
Yeah.
Right,
and
now.
When we're staying with with some family, then I'm just usually out walking their neighborhood, just, out on a nice walk, just because. And maybe if I lived there, I wouldn't do that. But because we're on vacation and it's a change of weather, knowing that, hey, I'm here in Florida and it's beautiful out, I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy it. Maybe that's it. I don't know if I'd do that all the time if I lived there.
Well,
but
that's why it's called vacation.
That's right.
Okay. So what do you have?
Well, first I want to thank we had this the other night on Saturday night, we had a Westerly Police Department versus the Westerly High School basketball team charity basketball game.
I wish I'd known. I would have.
It was on our Facebook. It was a wonderful time.
Facebook.
Who won?
Okay.
Well, it wasn't the Westerly Police Department.
When you begin with "well," that's kind of your answer.
It was such a great
Did
time.
Did Stonington cheat?
Well, we played against the Wesley High School team.
Oh, the high school.
So we were playing a bunch of, 16, 17, 18
a lot
year olds.
younger legs.
Yes. And
There's no excuse, guys.
Right.
Kick it up a notch.
They were fun. It was just a good time. Obviously it's a little competitive, but nobody, they're a good high school basketball team anyway. But It felt good for us older officers to be like, all right, well, we can go out there and at least play, and had a good time. We didn't win, but it was a great time had by all.
Are you at liberty to give us the score?
It was 50 something to 80 something. I don't remember the exact score. I really don't. But we scored over 50. which is pretty good. You know, we scored more than how old I am, which is a plus.
That's good. That's good.
And but you know, it was for a great cause. It was for a senior project by one of the
Did you
students.
have rotating coaches, or did you have one coach from your department?
We didn't have, nobody really coached. We just subbed each other in and out.
Okay.
But it was,
and you wondered why you didn't win. Nobody really coached. Okay.
But it was, like I said, it just, they were great about it. The fans were great. All the money went, you know, to a great cause, and it was for a senior project. We are
great idea for a senior project.
It really is. It really is. It was, and like I said, we had a good time. You know, maybe they were a little surprised that we were played as good as we did. You know, because I think they probably, again, if I was their age, I would probably think that we would win by 100. You know, and we only lost by 25 or 30 or whatever it was, but we had a great time. The officers. You know, we had a good time when, like, for the next couple of days when you're at work, everybody's talking about how much fun it was, which is a good thing. And it's also camaraderie for us.
Did everybody come limping into work?
I think everybody might have been a little bit sore.
A little sore, right.
I said to my wife, because on Sunday, my wife asked me, how you feeling today? And I said, I'm a little sore. I think I was probably more sore the following day, which was Monday, which is, most of the guys said the same thing, that,
it's usually
the third
2 days later.
Yeah, it was that the second day after the game where it was a little bit sore, but it was a great time. And we're actually going to do another charity event by another senior from the high school wants to do a baseball game. So it'll be the Westerly High School baseball team versus the police department. So
obviously you got to wait till it's warmer.
We're going to, I think we'd like to maybe do it in April, and whenever we have the date set, I'm sure it'll be posted on our Facebook if people want to come and watch. And again, it's all the money that's raised, thing like that, I'm sure will go to a nice charity organization, like we did for the basketball game the other day. It'll be fun. I hope that they don't hit too many home runs against us, but again, we have a good time with it. And
the score was 32-3.
Well, I guess when we go on the radio in April, I'll let you know. Okay. And we are also
I'd love to come and watch.
And we're also gonna we're gonna hopefully be able to do again in April the Westerly Police Department versus the Stonington Police Department charity basketball game.
That's the one I thought you were talking
about. Yes, that one is a lot of fun, because again, the camaraderie with our police department is great, but also the camaraderie with the Stonington Police Department is great. And, we are friendly with them. They're friendly with us. We work together. We do, being a border town, we do.
I was going to say, for those people who are listening from other places around the country, Stonington's right over there.
I can see Stonington out this window.
It really is. You can walk. I mean, we have a shared downtown.
We do.
So it is Connecticut.
Yes. And it's,
something's going on here.
And so for us, we were able to win last year. We'd like to defend, the trophy and win again. But Stonington, they're good too, and and it's fun to play against a bunch of guys that and it's just it's a fun time. Our families are there, their families are there. This is a bunch of people in the crowd that are watching. Like I said, you like to go to that, and it's just, again, it's a good.
And where does the money go to? What or does the charity vary each time?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. We try to, our union and their union, we work it out, and we try to, they pick different things to do. I don't know exactly where they're going to do it this year. We're still trying to put it all together. But again, it's just a great time. It really is. So those are a couple of the upcoming events that we're going to be doing.
What about the Citizens Academy?
Okay.
I don't want time to get away from us.
So the Citizens Police Academy, I actually talked to Lieutenant Rathgaber, who was on the radio last month.
Yes, he was.
I talked to him about it today, and he said that hopefully in the next few days, they'll be putting something out on our Westerly Police Department's Facebook page and our Westerly Police Department's homepage. And
there should be something in the Sun as well.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure exactly where they'll be. I know we'll be at least on those. And again, we'll be, 10 or 12 weeks like it normally is. They're looking to start it either the 26th or the 27th, either that Wednesday or that Thursday. I know he was talking when he was on the radio last month about maybe doing it on a not on a Wednesday this year, but either on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So I'm not exactly sure if they decided on which day they're going to do, but again, it's a great thing for people that live in the town of Westerly that want to come and see the police department and how it functions. I mean, our police department that we work in is, it's the town of Westerly's police department, so, we have a big EOC, emergency operations room, that, people hold different functions. And I know there's been driver's ed in there, and there's been other things that are held in that room. And that's where the Citizens Police Academy will be held when we do it. And you get a tour of the police department on the first night. And every night that we do it, there'll be different things. So like usually night number 1 is
And
opening.
it's how many weeks? 13?
It varies. Sometimes, we've had it 10, we've had it, 12.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
It is. But if we understand, if there's certain nights that because it is such a big commitment, if there's a few things that you can't make it to, we understand. We prefer you to try to get to as many as you can, but we understand that, there are some things that you might not be able to get to. So when we post it on our Facebook, there'll be an application that you have to put in, and then you have to fill out the application, then you send it in, and then we'll do like a little background check on anybody that applies.
You have to be a Westerly resident.
You do. So if you live in Hopkinton and Hopkinton does a senior assistance police academy, you can do one there. Or if Charlestown holds one and you live in Charlestown, you check with our police department. They'll probably have one there. So if you live in the town of Westerly and you would like to attend a citizens police academy, please, it's a great opportunity to meet a bunch of the officers that work in the police department that you may never have met before. And we try to get different officers that are trained in different things to do different things. So for instance, like the first night, usually you'll have Chief Gingerella. He'll speak that first night. You get to meet the chief, and the captain will be there. And sometimes the whole administration will be there to introduce themselves, which would be the chief, the captain, lieutenants. They'll introduce themselves. They'll talk about the police department. One of the dispatchers, which his name is Jace LaPlante, a lot of times he's there, and he'll talk about the dispatch center, and then we'll he'll give you an overall on the dispatching.
You just gave me an idea. For one of your many appearances, you ought to bring a dispatcher with you, because I don't think people truly understand. They just know they call and somebody picks up the phone and says, what's your emergency or whatever.
To be honest with you, I've never thought about that. I know one time
I think that would make for a great program.
Yeah, I know you've asked for me to bring my wife and my daughter on to get their perspective someday, which we might be able to do. And
which you still haven't done, might I add?
Well, the daughter is at dancing school on Wednesday afternoon.
Yes, it would have to be. I was thinking about that. It would probably have to be in June, July, or August when she's not in dance.
We could arrange that.
Yeah. And then, but I will definitely, I never thought about having one of the dispatchers here.
I mean, that would be so interesting to go back to for a minute with Kelly and Bella. What is it like when your husband is a police officer? What is it like when your dad's a cop and you go to school and people make fun of you or say things because your dad's a cop?
Yeah, I actually have told my daughter and my wife on different occasions, hey, whatever you do, don't tell people. Like,
he's an attorney. He works out of DC.
Yes, just because I don't want them to be judged for what I do.
Yeah.
Or have to answer questions that may be uncomfortable for them to answer. There's been times,
or be asked for favors.
Yeah.
Which you can't do.
I just, for my daughter, I just don't want her to have to, growing up is hard enough for kids. I just don't want her to be singled out or somebody say, police are bad or something like that. And
do most of her friends know that you are a police officer?
Some of them do, and some of them might not. I certainly don't, tell any of them, but I'm sure some of them do know.
Listen to me, kid. I'm a cop.
Right. I mean, that's just the nature of it. So, like, for instance, in the summertime, I work some of the events down at the beach, and if it's a summer music festival at the beach or something like that, and I'm working it as a detail, she might have a lot of friends that didn't know what I did, but happen to be going to an event and they see me there.
Oh, he just sells hot dogs.
Yeah. But so speaking of that, I know that, years ago when my wife and I, before children, we would go away to like these resorts and things like that, or we'd go to these, these these nice warm tropical places for vacations. And, my wife would just laugh at me because people would always, you meet people, you meet other couples
Sure.
from
Hey,
like,
what do you do?
hey, you're having dinner and you're having a drink and you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, where you from? And you tell them, and usually tell them Rhode Island. And they always like, oh, Long Island's beautiful. That's the first thing you get. And you're like, no, I live in Rhode Island. It's
no dummy.
Yeah, it's not Long
More
Island.
like block.
It's close to Long Island, but it's not it's Rhode Island. And the next question they'll ask is, what do you do? And a lot of times like, oh, I work for a town. And then like if they start inquiring, I'll name off like a town job.
Yeah.
I just eat. So my wife sometimes would just like, she just laughs at me because, I usually am very vague about it because everybody's got a police story.
Yeah.
Or I just
I
don't know
bet
how
they
they,
do.
or I don't know how they feel.
I mean, I don't know a town planner though that carries a big ass gun.
Well, I'm on vacation. They wouldn't know. But I also like, I don't want people to judge me for who.
Or they want to ask his advice like they do to doctors at cocktail parties. Look, doc, I know we're only at a party, but I've got this pain over here.
Yeah.
Could you tell me? And they don't want that.
Right. Or if
either.
you're-
There's this red truck that goes down my street, probably 85 miles an hour. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why we
I'm
like,
sure.
kind of transitioning, and that's why we do things like Coffee with the Cops. We're actually going to do one tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yes, we're doing one tomorrow at McDonald's, and I think it's at 10. And when we do those events, they're great because people do come there and they do want to talk about, have coffee with us and talk about things that are going on in the neighborhood, which is great. We're having a cup of coffee and we're talking about.
That's a little different than being on vacation and having someone saying, listen, I got this problem back in Peoria, Illinois. Help me.
Or they want your advice on how to handle it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's
Coffee with a Cop, you're going to get people complaining or
which
asking.
I think it's great because
that's why you do it.
Not everybody, or sometimes, I've found when we've done the Coffee with the Cops, where somebody would be like, I think it's like, I don't know if it was worth a police phone call, but this is what's going on. And turns out that it was more than like nothing, or it could have been something. And we were able to look into it and fix it, or we were able to make them feel a little better about a situation. Mm-hmm. Be like, I don't think it's what you think it is, but we'll at least look into it and we'll get back to you in a few days and we'll let you know how it's going. And, then you reach back out to them and say, hey, what you thought it wasn't that, it was this. It was just, they're on vacation and there's a cleaning company and they're doing cleaning the house. There's not somebody in there cleaning out their house and stealing everything. Right. And so, things like that where you're able to, and then sometimes it's just, people will pop in that didn't realize it was Coffee with the Cops and then end up having a conversation with a couple of police officers there. And they might walk away having a different opinion about us than they did going in, because there's times where, people are dealing with the police for certain situations and an officer is trying to do his job and you're trying to be like, well, officer. And they're like, listen, sir, like, you're trying to calm the situation down and you're trying to deal with the situation. And you have somebody that's just, interjecting into a situation. And you're like, sir, you got to step back. Like, right. I'm trying to investigate something that's going on. And they're like, well, the officer was so rude. And it's like, well, they weren't rude. They were trying to, trying to understand what's going on. And so
typically how long when you have Coffee with a Cop? You said it's 10 o'clock?
It's usually 10 to 11.
Oh, so it's just an hour.
It's usually about an hour.
I don't know how well you're going to draw tomorrow because they keep warning people about how bad the weather's going to be in the morning.
Yeah. So
I don't know how bad
I don't watch
here though.
And I tell you this all the time. I don't really watch the news. So
a lot of people don't anymore.
I just, and I don't have any social media. So it's funny that you say this. If we're talking about a storm. My wife said to me this morning something to the effect of, what if there's going to be school tomorrow? And I was like, why? What's going on? And she's like, did you look at the weather? And I'm like, no. She's like, I'm getting all these advisories on her phone about.
I don't think it's going to be that kind of thing down here. They're talking about down at the coast where we are 1.5 inches in rain, but then it's going to rain and then there'll be ice on top of it and then a little more snow on top of that. North of Providence, they're expecting
Yes.
significant snowfall. But I guess it's the one thing on top of the other, and it's going to be bad driving. And if you typically get retirees and older people, you may not tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or none of it might happen. You never know.
I've heard people say before, hey, it's going to rain tomorrow and ends up snowing, or it's going to snow and ends up being rain. So
exactly,
you never know. I guess we'll play it by there,
because we never got beyond the first night.
Wow, that's right.
The Citizen Academy.
Yeah. So
give us an idea of the topics.
Yeah.
That you cover,
and it's funny. Then that's why I brought this. We talk about some of the topics. So one night we try to cover 2 topics a night. 2 hours. It's a 2-hour class, and we try to cover 2 hours. So one night it might be domestic violence, and we'll have officers that will speak about domestic violence and what the domestic violence laws are and how we try to handle domestic violence, and things to be on the lookout.
There's a lot of that.
I think just
people are angry.
I think from the time that I started a long time ago till now, there's people get married, they get divorced, or people date and they break up. That just unfortunately things happen.
Yeah.
But we talk about the whole cycle of domestic violence, and they talk about a lot of that. And then that same night you might have the canines that will come in, and then you get to meet the 3 canine officers and their dogs, and they will do a demonstration.
And they talk about how each dog is for something different.
Correct. What each dog is certified to do and what they do. And, they might put on a couple of demonstrations with some of the different dogs, which, we try to do that one a lot of times when the weather's a little bit warmer. So if we start at the end of March, that might be something that we'll do on a warmer night.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have, we'll talk about fraud or scams, which we talk about here quite a lot.
Sure.
There'll be a night about mental health. And the amount of mental health case about mental health, and our roles as a police department in mental health calls, and
you still have someone that rides with you.
We do have clinicians at our police department, and we talk about the clinicians, and sometimes we actually have a clinician if they're available to come in and talk about what they do and how they ride along with the police department, and it's. I kind of describe the clinicians that work with us is that, as police officers that are working patrol, they have a gamut of things that they wear for like tools on their tool belt, right? Mm-hmm. That's just another tool to use, having them with you to go out to a call where there's a mental health crisis, or somebody that's having a mental health crisis, or that's, or something that's possibly mental health.
You can get somebody that quick?
Well, a lot of times we have them at the station.
Uh-huh.
So they're just at the station, and somebody will bring them to the scene when it's safe and secure to talk to the person. There's other times where they're not, and they're willing to go to the hospital to speak to somebody. So it's it's hard because most of the calls a lot of the calls you go on, 70-80% of the calls you go on, there's a mental health underlining in some of these things that happen. It may not rise to that point, but there might be something going on.
Yeah. It's good that you have that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are many departments that don't.
Yeah. There's one night that there'll be a class. One of the officers will talk about patrol functions and what patrol does, how our department is handled in the patrol division, how the department, the town is broken up into beats, and how we assign the beats, and how things are done. And that same night, usually the second half of the class, they'll go out and do some mock motor vehicle stops, which is fun. We'll do some fake car stops in the back parking lot. The officers will play the bad guys. That used to be one of my favorite things to do, is be the bad guy. And different people in the class will walk up to the car, and it's a totally different feeling when you're on the other end of it and you're walking up to the car and you're not knowing what's going on in that car yet.
You don't know if the guy's got a gun.
You don't know anything. We do so many different things on these car stops. What happens if they put the car in drive and then they jump out and run? What do you do? Do you chase the car? Do you stop the car? Do you stop the person? What do you do?
Wow.
What do you do? Right?
Chase the guy.
What about the car that's going into traffic? So, these are things that, we kind of want you to think about, right? As, okay, what's more important at this point, and, put you in
Wow.
Our-
So you're making split decisions.
Making split decisions.
Well, you do that all the time. as
We
a
do.
cop.
Yeah. And then talking about split decisions is that we have an active shooter night, and we talk about active shooter. And then we also will have a virtual simulator that we use. And the virtual simulator is a big screen, and there's scenarios on the screen, and you have to have communications with the people on the screen. It's as real can be. The gun is as real as the real can be. It's basically like our sidearm that we carry that's just got the CO2 in it, and it has recoil. And when we have different guns that we carry that we have that for, and we put you through some of the scenarios that we train for. Wow. And that same scenario that you watch and that you're talking to, like an officer who's controlling this can actually change the scenario onto like how you're talking to this simulator.
Is Westerly unique as a police department doing the academy, or do many police departments do this? 'Cause I think this is terrific. This is community education.
It is. And I think we were like anything, we've done it for a while now, and other departments are now doing it too. And I think it's one of those things where other towns look at it like, oh wow, that's actually a great idea. And I'm sure somebody in our department, I don't even remember when we started doing it. It's been a long time. I know I've been involved in it for a long time. And when you get the feedback from people in the community about how amazing it was and how much they loved it. And I still run into people that were in some of these academies from years ago, and they're like, are you still doing those? I want to do the whole class again. Huh. And I'm like, you want to give up a Wednesday night again in the wintertime and do this again? Like, they're like, it was so much fun. And the classmates have a camaraderie themselves, and they become friendly. And, that last night that we do this, we usually have awards that we hand out and certificates or whatever. And, we have some food together, and we all eat together and break bread. And they tell us they give us their perspective of what they've learned, and from where they started and what they thought on night one when Chief Gingerella was talking till that night that they get their certificate. And when Chief Gingerella was talking again, they then give their perspective of
do they feel empowered? Like, I can go out and be a cop now.
No, I think it's more of like,
I don't want to be a cop now.
I think it's more of like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I think
you're right.
know.
I had no idea that you do this much, or that it gets into this.
Yeah. And it's so much.
They only know what they see on TV.
There's so much more of like, I
cops.
didn't know like what our town offers. I didn't know this is what our town does. I didn't know this is what you as a police department does. I didn't know what inside the police department looked like. There's so many I didn't knows. And there's so many, like, I can't believe like that, like, this is what you guys do, or, that in a lot of like, thank you guys for what you do.
Yeah.
Which is great, because that's what we're focusing on is, people in the community understanding what we do. Like when we talk about traffic stops, they understand now, like at nighttime when we ask you to turn your dome light on, or why you should do that. And they understand it now because they walked up to a car, and these fake traffic stops. And now they understand, a little bit more about, everything
they probably want me to keep my hands on the steering wheel. They probably don't have time for me to yell at them, like stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't know like some of the reasons why we do. When we talk about and we show videos about how car stops have gone wrong and like what happened. And
although I do feel personally,
okay,
like Westerly has set me up for failure.
Uh-oh.
The police department is the nicest police department I've ever met in my entire life. The animal shelter is beyond, above and beyond in every single way. You go in there, it doesn't even smell like animals. The library does more than I've ever seen libraries do. It's just like Westerly itself has set me up for failure in the rest of the world.
I'm going to set you up for failure
because we're out of
It's
here.
after 5 o'clock and we are over time.
I do want to say that Cal Lord said great information detective, and there's 16 tickets left to Love Letters starring Rona Mann and Cal Lord. You can find the link to the tickets on my social media. So go do that.
Congratulations,
Did
Cal.
he say that his new grandson is 7 pounds, 5 ounces?
I know. Seriously, Cal, congratulations.
Congratulations, Cal. You're the best.
Okay, next week We are everything about wine. Why not? We are going to have the manager of Saltwater Farm Vineyard and Kingdom of the Hawk. Greg Post will be here, and he might just bring samples with him. So we will see all of you next week. Be well, drive very safely, especially tomorrow. And thank you again, officer. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to get your business in front of over 100,000 viewers every month? Advertise with 321 and enjoy the best value in local advertising while supporting free community live streams. Your message will be seen across live high school sports, morning shows, and local events, connecting you directly with engaged audiences, boosting your visibility, growing your brand, and helping us keep these broadcasts accessible to everyone for free. Partner with 321 today and watch your business thrive.